So, Guy, you've got a great story to tell in how you arrived
Yeah.
in Chicago and where you came
Yes.
from, and it's pretty incredible. Could you share that with the people today?
Yes, of course. I was born in Israel. That's where I was born. That's where I was raised. Started playing the clarinet when I was about 6 or 7 years old. So I knew some of the big band stuff, a variety of range. I played in a 30 or 35 piece orchestra when I was 10 or 9 years old, and then found a guitar at the house. That was one of my brothers, and there went the horn and the orchestra, and I just wanted to sing and play guitar, since I sang before I even played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Taught myself how to play, I think like so many others, in my generation, the stuff they could not see. Or let's say Muddy Waters and B.B. King were not as popular as, let's say, Eric Clapton was.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got into stuff like maybe Clapton or Marvin Gaye and stuff that was more common. And you start reading, as a musician, who Clapton liked, or who this guy liked, or who Stevie Ray Vaughan liked, and that led me. I started tracing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, to B.B. King, Albert King, from them to T-Bone Walker. Through T-Bone, read about Blind Lemon Jefferson, that led me to the country guys like Robert Johnson and Lightning Hopkins, and started really going backwards. Discovered players that where I was from. Not only was I born in Israel and raised there, it was a really small country, maybe 50 families or 100 families. Really small town. It was like a farming community kind of.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fields, a lot of chicken shacks and cows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get a record, I remember when I heard about Albert King and wanted to get an Albert King CD, I had to take like an hour long or 45-minute long bus, like across the field, and take a bus ride to Tel Aviv just to know that I can't get the CD because I don't have it, and it'll take 2 months to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a phone call after 2 months, like, the CD is here. I'm like, great. So I cross the field, I take the bus, I go pick it up, I come home, and it's like the most valuable thing that I ever got,
Yeah.
So I remember just unwrapping, every CD was like that, unwrapping it and putting it on and reading all the liner notes.
Yeah.
And then you find out about other people as well,
Sure.
Contemporaries of Albert or BB and who they were influenced by.
Yeah.
So I had the pleasure of coming here first when I was 16 years old, who performed with like a touring band, more like a popish type of thing, singing, not playing. And I got to tour the States for about 4 months and be in about 30 states. And that included Memphis, Tennessee, and Chicago, and Alabama, and Texas, and a lot of places that I was very fortunate to see, in Mississippi. And Memphis I liked because I was already into blues, and I knew that BB's Club was there, and they were nice enough to let us in because they knew how much it meant to me, even though I was just only 16. So I kind of had it in my mind that, okay, I'm going back there. I went back, I did my Army service. I was for 3 years, and a week after that, 12 days after I was released, I was on a plane to Memphis, Tennessee, and started my route. I stayed in Memphis for a while, walked around, saw what the people do, how they play, what styles are really happening, because the stuff that I heard that I thought was actual, the B.B. King and Albert King, was about 40 years before that. So there were a lot of stuff that were changed.
Yeah.
So I saw what was going on. I liked it a lot, but stuff wasn't really moving. I was very young and I wanted to see a lot of things. So I decided to relocate. I headed down to New Orleans for a short while, thinking about if I'm going to Texas from there or coming to Chicago. And I was fortunate to know through a cousin or a friend somebody in Chicago, and it was like, okay, I know somebody in Chicago, I have a place to be at.
Yeah.
So being on your own just with a suitcase and guitar, it was very tempting for me to have a place to actually, So I came here.
Yeah. And I think I met you pretty close.
A week or 2 weeks after I arrived.
Yeah. So back to your days in the Israeli army, they let you play guitar?
No, I did not. I played on weekends and when I got home, I had it, but it was a little depressing, I used to love to play so much, but then you know that you're on such a borrowed time that you have so many things and people that you haven't seen in a while, that it was kind of like, okay, I'm playing, but what's really the point? I need Sunday morning, I gotta wake up at 6 to be back at base, so I decided kind of to put it aside for a minute, just for my frustrations not to be too big. I kept stuff,
Yeah.
but not a lot.
Your style, I hear a lot of Albert Collins, a lot of Albert King. You really play those styles so well.
Thank you.
What is it about Albert Collins, for example? I know you're going to be playing the Telly tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, what is it about his attack? I know he played in an alternate tuning as well. How do you transfer that over to your own sound?
Well, I do not use his tuning because I do a lot of other stuff as well.
Yeah.
And his is, you know, it was great for what he did, but you know, I can't do what he did.
Sure, and he always used the capo.
Exactly, and I do not do that either.
Yeah.
But he was percussive. It was happening. He was grooving hard. You know, whatever he did.
Popping hard with his fingers. Never used a pick.
Yeah, and not plucking. A lot of people think he pulled. He did not. He pressed the string. So a lot of people trying to imitate him, I noticed, pull it, and it's a different ball game here. I think Albert Collins was playing like that because of Gate Mouth, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I, you know, Gate Mouth Brown.
Right.
But so this moved me a lot. The fact that, you know, the percussiveness, the percussion, how he attacks it, you know, how he gets to it. Albert King, it was just sheer strength, you know. It's just so strong, you know.
Yeah.
The blues power. You know, it's just, I first heard it, I'm like, anybody else my age, I think you heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan, I was like, wow, this is great. And then somebody gave me the song Blues Power, listen to this. And I'm like, okay. So the Stevie Ray Vaughan was a great guitarist, but I put the records aside and started buying Albert King records to really, it just, I didn't know what he was doing. But, you know, I had to find out what he was doing. I did not know he had different tunings.
Right.
Albert, now I do. Back then I didn't. Yeah. So I just sat and tried to copy it, to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and the fact that he played upside down and he was 6'6".
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.